from the WYLN studios in Hazleton, Pennsylvania. WYLN Evening Edition at 5:30 starts right now.
Good evening. It's Wednesday, November 4th, 2015. I'm Ann Gownley. We begin tonight with a look back at last night's winners and losers of the 2015 general election here in the greater Hazleton area, the top races in Luzerne County. We begin in the city of Hazleton, where there is a new mayor, Jeff Cassat. WYLN was at his campaign headquarters last night as he declared victory. 3 Hazleton men vied for the spot as Hazleton's newest mayor, political newcomer and independent candidate Scott Cahalan, City Councilman Republican Jeff Cassat, and City Council President Democrat Jack Mundy. Cassat outpolled Jack Mundy 1,593 to 1,101. Independent Scott Cahalan got 660 votes. As the numbers came in, WYLN was at Cassat's Bar and Grill in Hazleton as Mayor-elect Cassat celebrated, surrounded by his family, friends, and supporters.
It's nice to be appreciated for all the hard work we did. You know, I have a great team behind me that I'd like to thank my parents for making me the guy that I am. I'd like to thank my team. I'd like to really thank the voters and everybody else that appreciates it. I'd like to thank Mr. John Ford, that was my mentor. But I'm just happy that the people in Hazleton really appreciate the hard work I put into it.
Jack Mundy, who came in second in the race, said he will continue as president of council for the remainder of his term, doing what is right for the residents of Hazleton during his live interview with WYLN's election panel.
I want to congratulate Jeff. He ran a hard campaign. He campaigned hard. I want to thank my family and friends and the voters of Hazleton. They've been with me for a number of elections, and we came up short this time. But I'm still on council. I still care about the city, and will always do what's right for the city of Hazleton.
Independent Scott Cahalan was at the WYLN studios last night and was live with our panel after the results were tallied.
It was fun. It was first time. It was a lot of new experiences, and I had a great time. So to all the voters out there who decided to vote for me tonight, thank you from the bottom of my heart, sincerely, thank you.
When asked if he meant what he said during WYLN's Hazleton mayoral debate, Mayor-elect Jeff Cassat said yes and added he wants Hazleton to continue to move forward.
We're going to move the city forward. I mean, Jack's a great guy, and he's going to be on council working with me for 2 years. I guess we'll see what happens with the council race tonight, and we're all here for the same reason, and we're going to do well.
With a mayor in place, the city council race is still too close to call. Keith Bass and Gene Mope's terms were up, and several vied for those seats. Bob Gavio got 1,814 votes to take the top spot. But just 16 votes separate incumbent Gene Mope and challenger John Keegan, 1,416 to 1,400. And that race is still too close to call until the absentee ballots are counted. The fourth candidate, Rocco Formica, came in last with 1,284 votes.
Well, it was a close race. I think everybody did a wonderful job. I'd like to congratulate the winners, and I would also like to congratulate the losers because they put in a lot of time and effort and hard work in their run for their offices. I've worked hard for the last 4 years for the constituents. I've always tried to serve them and do what was best. I treated them like they were my own family, and I appreciate the fact that they came out and supported me tonight.
These numbers are still unofficial until the county finalizes them Friday morning. And in Wilkes-Barre, a new mayor has been chosen by the people. Former Wilkes-Barre Police Chief and City Councilman Tony George soundly defeated Frank Sork to win the mayor's position. George got 3,237 votes, while Sork got 1,546 votes.
The city's in a crisis. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. As chief, we ran saturation patrols, park and walk, knock and talk, and cop hotspots. I plan to implement all that.
It's time for the city to come together, to get behind Mayor George, and hopefully, as I said earlier, I'm calling on Mayor George to do what's right for the city and to, really keep his campaign promises.
There were 323 write-in votes. Presumably most, if not all, were for incumbent Tom Layton, who did not run a write-in campaign but said he'd accept a fourth term if he got enough votes. In Wilkes-Barre City Council race, a Republican won a seat for the first time in over 3 decades. Tony Brooks won District B. He's the first Republican to win a council seat since Jack Jones in 1983. Mike Belusco, owner of Belusco's Garage, won a seat in District A. Wilkes senior Beth Gilbert won District C. Incumbent Bill Barrett and Mike Merritt won their seats in Districts D and E. Darren Snyder won the city controller's race with 3,281 votes to 1,467 for independent candidate Linda Urban. Snyder will replace Democrat Kathy Kane, who decided not to run for a second term. In the Hazleton Area School Board race, Vinnie Zola, the longtime district security director, pulled the top spot with 6,907 votes. Tony Bonomo finished third with 6,383 votes, while his 2 running mates, Jackie Scarcella and Marie Kay, also won seats with 5,630 and 5,447 votes respectively. For Kay, it's a return to the board after several years off. Zola's running mate and former West Hazleton Borough Councilman Bob Fume finished next with 6,167 votes. Veteran School Director Robert Childs and running mates Lori Lucen and Casey Hersheim, along with Thomas Chirico, running as independents, finished out the top 5. In the Luzerne County District Attorney race, Stephanie Salavantis won a second term by a wide margin, bigger than a 60-40 split. She got 30,422 votes to Vito DeLuca's 17,693 votes. Salavantis was at the Woodlands on election night celebrating with her family, friends, and supporters when the numbers came in. In the county council race, incumbents Tim McGinley and Ed Breminski were the 2 top vote getters. Jane Watkis finished third with independent Stephen A. Urban, that's Stephen Urban Sr., in fourth. Eugene Kelleher was in 5th place. Bob Schnee won the 6th seat by about 360 votes over Stephen J. Urban. Turnout countywide was about 28%. And when it came to Election Day, it wasn't just the candidates who won. A voter in Philadelphia won $10,000 just for going to the polls yesterday. Bridget Conroy Varnes, a Philly school crossing guard, was the winner. The idea came from the group The Philadelphia Citizen. The idea was to boost turnout. The money comes thanks to a grant from the Pamela and Ajay Roju Foundation. A male juvenile is in custody and another is being questioned after allegedly working together to steal over $13,000 worth of firefighting equipment from firefighters that were battling a suspicious house fire today in Tamaqua. Items taken included new county-owned radios, radio charging banks, flashlights, hand tools, masks, and more. The theft of equipment occurred behind 225-227 Pine Street in Tamaqua after firefighters with the Citizens Fire Company and South Ward Fire Company parked their fire trucks on Water Street to help battle a house fire on Biddle Street. Firefighters said the thieves must have went back and forth numerous times, placing multiple items inside the back of a green Jeep parked within a short distance from the fire. With help from witnesses, Tamaqua police were able to apprehend and identify one of the suspects hiding inside a nearby apartment building. Due to their ages, the suspects' names cannot be given. Tamaqua police are continuing to investigate. A motorcycle accident in Berwick claimed the life of a Nescopeck woman. According to Berwick police, the accident between the motorcycle and sedan occurred on Tuesday just before 8 p.m. in the 1700 block of West Front Street. The driver of the motorcycle, Robin Purcell, was pronounced dead at the scene by the Columbia County coroner. The driver of the Chevy Monte Carlo, Brandon Schanfeld of Indiana, was uninjured. According to police, Schanfeld was turning into the parking lot of the Family Dollar when Purcell was traveling west when the two collided. The accident is still under investigation by police, and they are awaiting toxicology results from both drivers. Police in Wilkes-Barre Township are on the lookout for a man they say stole from Sam's Club on Wilkes-Barre Township Boulevard. The alleged theft took place around 7 p.m. last Friday when store security called police and said an unknown male had concealed 2 packages of beef tenderloins valued at $200. Security said he fled the area in a small gray sedan. Anyone with information is asked to call police in Wilkes-Barre Township. Well, this Friday, November 6th, the Alice C. Wiltsey Performing Arts Center is proud to present Elvis Lives On, starring Nick Mistician. WYLN has pairs of tickets to give away tonight to that show. Again, the show is this Friday, November 6th. Doors open at 6:30 and the show begins at 7 p.m. For your chance to win, call us right now at 570-459-1869, extension 1172, and leave your name and number, and you will be entered into the drawing. For more information, you can check out the Wiltsey Center's website at wiltseycenter.org. Time now for a first look at our forecast. More sunshine and warmer temperatures for the first week in November, but will this weather last? Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbachik's in the Weather Center with all the details. Joe?
Well, it definitely is going to come to an end, but we're not going to let it come to an end just yet. We still have at least another day or two to deal with these nice temperatures that we've been experiencing. Notice no rain across the northeast, some precipitation down toward the south. That won't be impacting our weather whatsoever. We're going to continue to stay on the dry side of things. 60s and 70s, you can't beat that for daytime highs this time of year. Again, tomorrow's going to be another very warm day across our area once again. It is now 64 in New Angola, 68 in Berwick, and 69 degrees in Bloomsburg. I'll talk about those changes that will be occurring in the 7-day forecast coming up in just a little bit. Ann?
Thanks, Joe. Coming up next, more election results, this time from Schuylkill County. Stay tuned. More news is headed your way only on WYLN.
You're watching WYLN News with Ann Gownley, Gary Perna, Julie Stefanovich, Paula Degnan, Chief Videographer Mike Lula, Weather with Meteorologist Joe Garbachik, Sports with Eric DeBerardinis and Gabriella Justin.
Did you know that suicide rates are on the rise in Luzerne and Wyoming counties? Did you know that over 100 Americans commit suicide every day? And did you know that you can help prevent suicide? I'm Jeffrey Waugh, and I'm here to tell you there is help. If you or someone you know is depressed, dial 800-273-TALK or the emergency helpline at 211. For more information and suicide prevention tips, visit any of these websites. Together, we can save lives.
There is something new to look for at your local SureSave supermarket. And quite frankly, when it comes to quality and price for your food, it's the best yet. The best yet means hundreds of items packaged at the peak of perfection and priced for the family budget. Look for the Best Yet label at your locally owned SureSave supermarket. When you see it, be assured of the great taste at a great price whenever you need it. From canned to fresh to frozen for quality products at a better price, the Best Yet, now at your local SureSave supermarket.
Continuing our election coverage tonight, we head to Schuylkill County, where all the row offices were captured by Republicans and all 3 Schuylkill County commissioners were reelected. WYLN's Gary Perna has more.
The Schuylkill County Commissioners will return to office in January. Republican Commissioner George Halkovich was the top vote getter, capturing 14,430 votes. Democrat Gary Hass took second with 13,893 votes, and Republican Frank Stoudemire, the current chairman of the board, won with 13,889 votes. Democrat Joe Devine ended up getting 10,672 votes. He's a council member from Pottsville. Libertarian Nelson Ruppert got about 1,684 votes. For the first time in over 20 years, there will be a new county treasurer. Jackie McGovern will retire, leaving the seat open for Republican Linda Marchak. Marchak got 15,710 votes. getting about 3,000 more votes than Brett Clark. For the first time in over 25 years, there will be a Republican in charge of the Clerk of Court's office. Maria Casey won over Democrat Catherine Mahon. Casey is the current Assistant District Attorney for Schuylkill County. In the race for the Register of Wills, Republican Teresa Gaffney will return to the office, winning over Democrat Frank DeMarco and Independent Jerry Labruti. In the Recorder of Deeds office, Ann Dudish will remain in office, winning by over 7,000 votes. This will be her first full term in that office. She stepped in June to take over for her husband, who passed away. And Dr. Dave Moylan, a Republican, won his seat back as county coroner. He beat out James Nettle by 6,900 votes for the Schuylkill County Coroner's Office. That's a look at the Schuylkill County election. For WILN News, I'm Gary Perna.
Thank you, Gary. Staying in Schuylkill County, the borough of McAdoo re-elected 3 council members along with a longtime business owner. Democrat John DeBalco, owner of DeBalco's Standard Drug, won the most votes, getting 283. Fellow Democrat Marion DeBalco came in second with 256 votes. Republican Mary Labert came in third with 244 votes, and Republican William Slovic came in with 239 votes. Democrats Peter Menici and Dan Gallagher, along with Republicans Dan Borchak and Ed Meelan, did not receive enough votes to sit on council. A side note, this coming Tuesday, McAdoo Council will meet to pick a replacement for Joe Madochik, a Democrat that resigned a month ago. If another Democrat is chosen to replace him in January, Democrats will have the supermajority with 5-2 Republicans. Coming up next, Chief Meteorologist Joe Garbacik is back with a full look at our forecast. Stay tuned.
On Friday, November 6th, the LSC Wiltsey Performing Arts Center will present Elvis Lives On, starring Nick Musician. Nick portrays Elvis through all the stages of his dynamic career, from the hip-swinging 50s and 60s to the thrilling 68 comeback special and the unforgettable 70s Vegas years. Nick does it all. He's got the look, the moves, the voice that will take you back in time. Doors open at 6:30 and showtime is 7 p.m. Tickets are $5 each. Elvis Lives On, Friday, November 6th at the Wiltsey Center.
Hello, I'm Gary Sinise. At the Gary Sinise Foundation, we serve our nation's defenders, veterans, first responders, and their families. We're working hard to ensure their sacrifices are honored and supported before, during, and after their service. That's why we're wishing the best of luck to Warrior Summit Outdoors. Your show will help bring attention to the difficulties faced by our returning wounded heroes. And for that, I thank you. God bless.
Combined Insurance makes it easy to protect you and your loved ones by paying cash directly to you when you need it most. Whether you're looking for accident and sickness, disability, or life coverage, Combined Insurance has a policy to meet your needs and fit your budget. Call John Ravello, 570-499-0504 for an appointment to help determine the best coverage for you. That's John Ravello, 570-499-0504.
Definitely a delightful day to be outdoors across our area today. Tomorrow looks like it's going to be another great day to be outdoors. And then as we go into the weekend, we're going to be looking at some changes that will be occurring in our forecast. Here's a look at the graphic for today, and we saw the sunshine, some clouds around, but other than that, temperatures staying above where we should be for this time of year. And in addition to that, we didn't have to worry about any precipitation, and it's going to continue to stay dry as we head through tonight. Now, as we go into tomorrow, there is that isolated chance of a shower, but that is about it. Nothing to show you live. 35 Skycast Doppler continues to remain dry. We're in the 60s, 61 degrees, our live Lehigh tire conditions outside our station in Hazleton, and literally there's no wind out there, all coming in under 5 miles per hour. So it is pretty nice out there throughout the entire state of Pennsylvania. 64 in Mount Pocono, 71 Wilkes-Barre-Scranton International Airport, still 72 in Allentown, 70 in State College. And how about 75 degrees right now in Pittsburgh? Mid to upper 60s, lower 70s in the Wyoming Valley area, so still remaining mild across our area. Some showers down toward the south, but for our area, we stay on the dry side. We'll stay dry as we head through tonight, and tomorrow, there is just that, you can see a little bit of some green showing up throughout the state, an isolated chance of a shower. Most of us probably won't see anything at all. And then as we go into our Friday, a better chance of seeing a couple of more showers that will overspread our area. I don't expect a whole lot at this point in time. It's still going to stay mild through Friday. Notice these temperatures tomorrow, 60s. Some areas will be near 70 degrees. And as we go into our early Friday morning, notice temperatures will be in the 50s to near 60 degrees. So this mild weather sticks with us. As we go into our Thursday, even as we go into our Friday with temperatures above where we should be for this time of year, in fact, not just our area, but the entire East Coast enjoying this wonderful weather. But again, that's going to come to an end later on this week, going into the weekend as some cooler air starts to invade our area. Extended forecast looking like this, staying above average as we go into tomorrow. And even as we go into our Friday, a couple of showers around, but not a whole lot at this point in time. And then cooler for Saturday, chilly as we go into our Sunday, and then in the 50s going into next week. Our date time Pennsylvania lottery numbers. The pick 2 numbers, 2-8. The pick 3, 166, and a pick 4, 7999. Pick 5 numbers looking like this, 28740. Treasure hunt numbers 25, 13, 19, and 28. Stick around. We'll have lots more for you coming up after the break.
Family owned and operated, the experienced professionals at Lehigh Tire have served the residents of the greater Hazleton area for over 55 years. From our full line of passenger, light truck, and commercial tires to our automotive services including tune-ups, inspections, oil changes, and alignments.
Every time I've ever done business here, they've been very polite, straightforward, and the job gets done quickly and right.
Find the right tire for the right price today at Lehigh Tire.
It can happen over time or in a snap. If joint or muscle pain has taken you out of the game, we can identify the root cause of your problem and develop a sport-specific treatment plan to get you moving again. Over 400 medical experts strong, the region's only nationally ranked program. That's Orthopedics in Action at Lehigh Valley Health Network.
In the most expensive Supreme Court race in history, Democrats won the sweep. Christine Donahue, Kevin Dougherty, and David Weck won the 3 open seats on the High Court. The 7 candidates spent a whopping $15.8 million, the most on any judicial race in national history, topping the previous record of $15.19 million set by an Illinois court race in 2004. Democrats also won the 2 lower court seats as well. Alice Dubois defeated Emil Giordano to win the Superior Court seat, while Michael Wolchik beat Paul Laley for the open seat on the Commonwealth Court. That's all your election updates for today, but coming up next, Eric DeBardinis is in with sports here on WYLN. Stay tuned.
Hi, I'm Marty Burns. Join myself and Coach Mike Brennan this week for Sports Talk here on WYLN. We look over the victory over Daniel Boone, a look ahead to the season finale against Berwick, and Kyle Sweats is our special guest this week on Sports Talk, brought to you by the Lehigh Valley Health Network.
Sports on WYLN is sponsored in part by Burger Family Dealerships, Harry's View Pullet, Fairway Chevrolet, Penn State Hazleton, Barber Ford, The Wire Guys, Tri-County Business Machines, Weatherwood Nursing, Hazel Park Quality Meats, John Diana Insurance, Mobility by Steven, Service Electric, Hazleton, S.J. Kowalski Plumbing and Heating, Coordinate Health, Grand Central, and Third Base Luncheonette.
Hard to believe we're already at the last week of the high school football regular season. We preview Week 10 in the Wyoming Valley Conference Big School Division, starting with Hazleton coach Mike Brennan breaking down WYLN's game of the week with the Cougars hosting Berwick.
We need a better job of moving the line of scrimmage, and we've had some games where we had a hard time adjusting to people's speeds. We think we're better prepared for that this time, to handle our speed, handle our linebacker movement, and our up front movement. So, we have to do what we've done. What they see on film is what they're going to get. What we see on film is what we're going to get, and it's just a matter of going out and who wants it more, and who competes harder, and who makes less mistakes and more plays in that 48 minutes.
Elsewhere, one of the top area rivalries with the Old Shoe Game featuring Lake Lehman and Dallas. The Mountaineers going for their 4th straight victory with an Eastern Conference playoff berth on the line. An undefeated regular season on the line for the Black Knights. Wyoming Valley West also going for an unbeaten season on the road against Williamsport, another squad looking to secure a trip to the Eastern Conference playoffs. The Spartans have been the most dominant team in northeastern Pennsylvania, and that shouldn't change in Week 10. Just 2 combined wins between Wyoming area and Pittston this season, and they both belong to the Warriors. This rivalry has seen better days. On Saturday, Crestwood with an out-of-conference matchup versus Pottsville. The Comets and Tide each with just 2 wins this season, and each looking to end the year on a high note after disappointing campaigns. And lastly, Coughlin searching for a rebound victory after a loss to Berwick, so they can secure the 3 seed in districts and play Berwick again in the first round. The Crusaders host 2-7 Tunkhannock. The game of the week between Hazleton and Berwick will air this Friday on WYLN beginning at 7 p.m. After 4 years in a Nittany Lion uniform, Saturday marked the first touchdown catch in Beaver Stadium for Wyoming Valley West product Gino Lewis, who, despite a cut in playing time, has come up in big spots for Penn State in the past 2 weeks.
I'm really proud of Gino because he hasn't had as many opportunities this year as he's had in the past. And to be honest with you, I think he's handled it really, really well. Is he happy about it? No. But does he have a great attitude? Does he come to work every single day? And what we talk about is you can't always control the amount of touches you're going to get as a running back or how many catches you're going to get as a wide receiver or whatever it may be. But what you can do is the opportunities you get, you make the most of them.
In 2015, Lewis has 9 catches for 107 yards and 2 touchdowns. Penn State travels to face Northwestern this Saturday at noon. Tonight on Late Edition Sports, girls soccer district championship highlights. But next, Joe Garbacek is in with a final look at the forecast. Stay tuned.
For over 25 years, Whitetail Preserve Shooting Range, 118 Boulevard Road, Bloomsburg, has provided professionally designed skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields. All stations are handicapped accessible with resident NRA certified shooting instructors on site. There are packages available to fit anyone's budget, restaurant and catering on site. Our facility is also available for weddings, business meetings, bachelor and private parties. Call 570-384-2314.
It's high school football time. Watch WYLN for all the local high school football action as we bring you the event, not just the highlights, like only WYLN can. Watch the game of the week right here on WYLN. We're your local network. For the best in local sports, watch WYLN TV 35. The event, not just the highlights.
Hey, it's been nice the last couple of days. Still looking nice as we head into tomorrow. These mild temperatures still will stick around for tomorrow. Even Friday not looking too bad, but then as we go into the weekend, it starts to get cooler across our area. How cool, you might ask? Well, here's a look at the 7-day forecast. And you can see for yourself, tomorrow does look very nice. There is that chance of an isolated shower at best. That is about it. 63. And then a couple of scattered showers around for Friday. Not a whole lot. Doesn't look like a whole washout. In fact, at this point, it looks like it should be dry for those games. That's the good news for the Friday night football games. Cooler for the weekend. Only in the 40s as we go into our Sunday, and then in the 50s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. Some overnight lows, kind of chilly, 30s.
Well, definitely get outside if you haven't all week,
Oh, yeah.
because
Yeah,
it
by all
is
means,
certainly
yeah.
going to be a nice day. And it looks like you made it through football season without having to get that poncho that we talked about.
Regular season, we still got
I'm
we still got
trying
week
to
10
make you
and
feel
playoffs.
good with it, but
Yeah, but this week, definitely a game you want to watch. The final regular season game for Berwick head coach George Curry. We're airing the game against Hazleton, and it should be a great matchup. And after 4 decades, hard to believe it's his final regular season game.
and for all that he's done, I know that when you did that amazing story on him, you won't want to miss him coaching live in person for the last time. Have a good night, everyone.